Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay, sorry. My computer jammed. I restarted my computer, so okay, let's get back to the book. Where's the book?
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Welcome back. Okay, let's wait for the book. Okay.
السلام عليكم.
Wa alaikum salam. Hello.
How are you, doctor?
Hi, I'm fine, thanks. How about you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Okay, good to have you here.
Thank you.
Okay, so I just my computer just disconnected. Okay, anyways, we were talking about our last lesson. So most of it is repeated from elementary. There isn't a lot of new things, but the part that was new that we didn't study before was using this form of as, adjective, as. This one, as, adjective, as. So you can use it to compare. And if you say, for example, Ahmed is as tall as Muhammad, it means they are the same height. It's equal. If you say as tall as old as happy as, and so on, all of this is the same. It means they're equal. But if you use a negative, so if you say, for example, Ahmed isn't as rich as Muhammad, this means Muhammad is richer, right? So this is the idea. So as, adjective, as, you can use it to describe or to compare things, okay? So this was the new thing that we talked about in our last lesson. Okay, I've got a few questions. Let's see if you can find out the answer. So for example, I'm going to write them here. So let's say if I say, for example, Ali is brighter than Marwa, for example, at school. Okay, just let me switch this off. So for example, Ali is brighter than Marwa, but is as bright as okay, so and another one, let's add another one. And Ahmed isn't as bright as Ali. Okay, isn't as bright as Ali. So now my question is, who can change the last two sentences? Okay, the last sentence. Ahmed isn't as bright as Ali. Who can change it in another way? Who can write it in another way? And another question, who is the brightest one in the class? Of course, what does it mean when we say bright? Who can tell me what it means?
شاطر.
Yes, this is the idea. It means good at school. This is the meaning of bright. So Ali is brighter than Marwa, but Marwa is as bright as Ahmed, and Ahmed isn't as bright as Ali. So who's the brightest student in the group?
Ali
Ali.
is Bryce.
Ali.
Correct. Ali is the brightest, okay. And who is the least bright of the group?
Ahmed.
But Ahmed is as bright as Marwa. They're the same.
The same, yes. Both
So,
of them.
yeah, both of them are not very bright compared to Ali, right?
Yes.
So you can see this form of as adjective as. You can use it and it's very useful. Or you can also say isn't as adjective as. The most important thing, of course, is to use the adjective. Don't use the ER form or don't use the comparative form. But other than that, I think it's not very hard and it's nice, it's useful. So this is what we talked about in our last lesson. Okay, today we're going to talk a little bit about weddings. So the lesson, it says roles people play. Roles people play. Now, what do they mean when they say roles people play? What are they trying to say? What does it mean to say role? A role. If you play a role, what does that mean? Does it mean that you're acting, for example?
Maybe.
Yeah, like that.
Okay, close. But does it always mean acting?
No.
Okay, not always. But sometimes we use it for acting. We say that, for example, Tom Cruise is playing the role of a policeman, right? So we say this in acting. But even in life, we all play roles, right? We play the role of the son, the daughter, the mother, the sister, the brother, right? These are roles. So this is what they mean here. So in a family, there are different roles you play. So for example, for your parents, you are a daughter, but for your children, you are a mother. And for your brother, you are a sister, right? For your uncle, you are a niece. You get the idea? It changes depending on the relationship. Do you get my point? So this is what we mean, roles people play, that we have different roles in life. Some of them are in the family, sister, brother, daughter, and so on. Some of them are at work, boss, employee, doctor, engineer, teacher, things like this. So today we want to focus more about family roles. Family roles, this is what we want to talk about. Okay, so let's start with the first box here. So here in this box, we have 3 groups, okay? The first group is family relationships. This is number 1. And number 2, other relationships. So what we want to do is we want to divide this group into number 1 and number 2. So this means if you think the word is a family relationship, we have to put 1. If you think the word is for another relationship, not a family relationship, we use 2. This is the idea, okay? So number 1, of course, this is an uncle. So
Repeat, please.
Okay, let's repeat. So the question, can you see this? Let me change the color.
Yes.
So it says put these words. Can you see all the words in the box? Can you see the words in the box, Safiya?
Yes, I see.
Okay. Who asked repeat, please? Was it you, Safiya?
Me, yes.
Okay. So here you can see the box, right? So we have some words.
Yes.
We're gonna divide the words into 2 groups. The first group is for family relationships. and the other group is for other relationships. Do you get the idea? For example, let me give you an example. Do you see the word uncle? Can you see uncle?
Yes.
What is uncle? Is it a family relationship or is it another relationship?
Another.
Why another?
No, family.
It's family. Your uncle.
Yes.
Your uncle is not family.
Yes. Yes.
عمكم ما تحسبوش فيه من العيلة ولا كيف؟
لا I think إن قصدك first degree و second degree.
No. لا ما يدوش على درجة القرابة لا.
إيه.
تصنيف عام يعني الكلمات اللي تحسوها لها علاقة بالعائلة مهما كانت القرابة يعني من درجة أولى وحتى أبعد نقول لهم نمبر 1 حنعطوهم رقم 1 وأي علاقة تانية مهنية غير عائلية يعني حنعطوها رقم 2 هذه الفكرة يعني. Okay?
Okay.
All right. So number 1, an uncle, of course, is family. What about aunt?
Family.
One.
Yeah, 1 family exactly. So number 1. What about boss?
2.
Other.
2. Niece.
1.
It's
Correct.
me.
Niece is the daughter of your brother or sister. The daughter of your brother or sister. Do you get the idea? And
Yes.
what about nephew?
1.
Yeah, nephew is the son of your brother or the son of your sister. It's called the nephew. All right.
Yes.
Flatmate or roommate. What's this? Family or non-family? 1 or 2?
2.
2. Correct.
2.
Cousin.
Non-family.
2. What's mean of flatmate?
Flatmate is someone who lives with you in the same flat. Like students, when they study in university, they sometimes live in the same apartment. This is flatmate. Okay.
Yes.
All right. And sometimes they say roommate, flatmate. It's the same thing. Cousin.
Family.
1.
Yeah,
1.
family. Correct. Number 1. Close friend.
2.
Family.
Close friend is actually 2 because a close friend is not really family. You can call them family if they're very close, but technically they're no, because they're not related to you by blood, right? So they're not family. إلا لو كان قريبك هو من الأول وصاحبك في نفس الوقت, yes. But if it's just a friend, number 2. Ex-girlfriend.
2.
2, I think. Neighbor.
1.
2.
2. Stepfather.
1.
Family.
Yes, family. Number 1. Grandmother.
1.
Family.
Right. Twin brother.
1.
1.
Okay. Colleague.
2.
2.
What's
correct.
me?
Colleague is
Zamil.
someone who works with you. Someone who works with you in the same company, in the same office. You can also use another word. They sometimes say co-worker. Co-worker, sometimes they say. My co-worker, my colleague. You can use both. Okay, relative.
2.
2.
1.
A relative is family,
1.
right? So for example, the cousin of your father or the cousin of your mother is family. Not close, but family, right? So this is relative. Great-grandfather.
Family.
Family, yeah, 1. Employer.
2.
2, correct. Employee.
2.
2. What's the difference between employer and employee? Who's the boss?
Employee works under the employer.
That's it. Yes. The employee is the worker Employer is the boss. This is the idea. So the employee works for the employer. Employer, yeah. Now, sometimes the employer is a person, but sometimes the employer is not a person. Sometimes it's a company. Do you get the idea? So employer, you can use it also for the company that you work for. So you don't have to, it doesn't have to be a person. Okay, sister-in-law.
Family.
One.
Yes, family, number one. All right. Now, let's
من هي
talk.
sister-in-law؟
Your sister-in-law is the sister of your husband.
Aunt of you.
Yeah.
The sister of your husband, or the sister of your wife, if you're a man, the sister of your wife. This is a sister-in-law from marriage, okay? Now, let's talk a little bit more about these words. I want you to think of other words you can make from this box, but using these additions. For example, X and step, grand, great, and in-law. So we can add a few words using these additions. What words can we add? For example, let's start with X. So here we have ex-girlfriend, but can we do any other X? Can we say ex-flatmate? Correct, correct. Can we say ex-uncle or ex-aunt?
No.
No.
Sometimes we want to, right? Especially if we don't like them very much. But unfortunately, we cannot remove them. We're stuck with family. Okay, but flatmate is a good example. So ex-flatmate.
Ex-girlfriend.
Ex-girlfriend. We have this, yeah. What about neighbor?
Ex-neighbor.
Sorry, what did you say? Samiha, what did you say?
Ex-neighbor.
Ex-neighbor? Am I ex-neighbor? It's you know, it sounds logical, but I don't think they use it. They usually say my old.
Old.
They usually say old neighbor. Yeah, that's what they say.
stepfather.
Stepfather is the husband of your mother, not your father. Her husband. So, for example, if
great.
some. Yes, Suhaib?
Great. What the meaning of it?
Great grandfather.
Great uncle.
Great uncle, great grandfather. Great, it means the father of your grandfather. Do you get the idea?
Yes.
Or you can say the grandfather of your father. Not your grandfather, your father's grandfather. Do you get the point?
Yes.
Okay. So it means there's a three generation difference between you, because there's you, your father, your grandfather, your great grandfather. So 3 generations in the middle. And we can also use great. We can also use it
Uncle and aunt.
for uncle and for aunt, right? So your great uncle or your great aunt, these are the uncles and aunts of your parents, right? Or the sisters and brothers of your grandfather or grandmother. These are your great uncle or your great aunt. Okay, we forgot step. So we have stepfather. What else do we have?
Stepmother.
Stepmother. What
زوجة
else?
الأب.
Yes, this is stepmother. Stepdaughter, there's stepson, stepdaughter, correct? Do we have stepbrother and stepsister?
Yeah.
Yes.
My stepbrother.
Sister.
Yes, we do. We have stepbrother, stepsister, correct? Do we have stepuncle or stepaunt?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
I
don't
have
know.
step uncle.
Sorry.
I think no.
هو بالمنطق مو المفروض يكون ما دام في step mother هذه الأخت step mother. But I haven't heard it before. Step uncle, step.
uncle's wife and
But step, it means it means not from your both parents. Do you get the idea? So if we say stepfather, this is not your father. This is the husband of your mother. Maybe your father died and your mother married again, or the opposite situation. Maybe the mother died and the father married another woman. So this is a stepmother. So everybody from this new woman's side كلها بيكون step uncle.
And step uncle, that mean
It means the brother of this new stepmother, her brother. بالنسبة لك حيكون step uncle. Like ما سمعتهاش قبل step uncle. I don't know. It sounds a little strange. بس technically يعني المفروض بيكونوا عائلتها كلها من جهتها حيكونوا كلهم step. لو عندها صغار من زواج تاني حيكونوا بالنسبة لك step brother, step father, step sister مثلا.
is not from your grandmother.
No, she's not from your grandmother. No.
Yes.
This is the idea. Okay, then we have what other words? We have great. We talked a little bit about great. We said great uncle, great aunt, great grandfather, great grandmother. What about grand? Can we use other words with grand?
Grandson.
Granddaughter.
Granddaughter, grandson, correct? We can also say grandchild or grandchildren.
grandson.
Grandson, granddaughter, grandchild, grandchildren, grandmother, grandfather. Correct. What else do we have? The word in-law. For what can we use in-law?
Brother and sister.
Brother-in-law,
brother.
sister-in-law,
Father-in-law.
father-in-law, correct?
Mother-in-law.
Mother-in-law. Do we have daughter-in-law and son-in-law?
Maybe.
What's a daughter-in-law and son-in-law?
When
No.
No?
no.
No. Can say
If someone marry a girl with her daughter, it will
Yes.
be sister-in-law to this man. Daughter-in-law, yes.
Daughter-in-law. Yes, but I think if they get married, maybe she'll become his stepdaughter, right?
Yes.
So
Stepdaughter and stepson.
Yeah.
Son-in-law.
No, we do have son-in-law. Son-in-law
Close to-
relax son-in-law. So okay, let me show you how a son-in-law is. So let's say this is okay, why is her head like this? Okay, so let's say this is the woman. So this is the woman, okay, right? And these are her parents. So these are her parents. So we have this is her father. This is the woman's father. And this is the woman's mother here. All right. So these are the woman's parents, right? Now the woman is going to get married, right? So she's going to marry this man. Okay, so this is her husband. So now they're married. Now the question is, what do the parents, what do these people call him? What do they call him? What's their relationship? What do they call him? This is my question. He's not their son.
Mother-in-law.
Cousin.
Father-in-law.
No, I'm not what the husband calls his the parents of his wife. No, what do the parents call the husband?
Cousin.
Not cousin. No. not a cousin.
يعني صهر هي بالعربي ولا؟
Yes. لا مش سهر، لا. سهر اللي هو أخ شو اسمه، أخ الزوجة السهر. هذا مش أخ الزوجة، هذا الزوج نفسه. الزوج نفسه.
نسيب. نسيب.
نسيب. Okay, can you see? Sorry, just a second. Okay, this is the woman, right? I'm going to show you her brother. So this is her brother. من نفس الأهل, okay? So this is the brother of the woman. So the parents will call the husband of their daughter هيسموه son-in-law. Do you get the idea? So for example نسمو اللي هو الشباني هذا نسموه مثلا الحاج علي, okay? وزوج بنته, هذا زوج بنته اللي هو نسموه كريم مثلا. So Kareem is the son-in-law of Ali. Yeah.
Of Ali.
And Ali is the father-in-law of Kareem. You get the idea? So this is son-in-law,
Yes.
daughter-in-law. وبالنسبة مثلا عندنا هذا اللي هو أخوه الزوجة الصهر, اللي هو نسموه, let's call him أحمد مثلا. Okay, so أحمد. So أحمد اللي هو حيقول لكريم, حيقول له my brother-in-law, صح ولا؟ حيكون brother-in-law. وكريم حيقول لي أحمد brother-in-law. نفس الشيء في الإنجليزي. في العربي نفس الشيء ولا مش نفس الشيء؟ احنا نقول نسيب, هل يقولها الزوج يقولها لأخوه المرأة ولا العكس, ولا الأخوه يقولها
الزوج زي بعض.
الزوج يقولوا فعل بعض. نفس الشيء حتى بالإنجليزي نفس الشيء. brother-in-law اثنين يقولوا فعل بعضهم brother-in-law. So it's the same, نفس الفكرة معنا. Okay. daughter-in-law لو العكس, daughter-in-law لو مندوا عليه الأهل مالي كريم مثلا. So let's say these are Kareem's parents. عندنا مثلا هنا Kareem's parents. So الحاجة والحاج. Okay. So هادو حيسموا زوجة كريم اللي هي فاطمة حيسموها daughter-in-law. Do you get the idea? بالنسبة لهم هم اللي هي مرت ولدهم daughter-in-law. الكنة yes. So قصة in-law دائما كل ما تشوفوا كلمة in-law معناها في علاقة بالزواج. This is the idea. Okay, this is the meaning. All right, so this is just an example of some of the words we can use to talk about family relationships and also other relationships. We can also use X to talk about employer. I think you can say my ex-employer. Can we use that, or what do you think? Ex-colleague, maybe?
Yes.
I think you can. Ex-colleague, he's my ex. ممكن old أحسن من ex. في حاجات ما تمشيش مع ex. I think ex-husband, ex-wife, ex-girlfriend, ex-boyfriend ممكن هذول يمشوا مع ex. Anyways, let's take a look. خلينا نشوف الموجز أو الملخص for all of these words, and let's see if there are any good tips. So let me take you to page 138. This is page 5138. Okay. Okay, so here we have a family tree. So here, this is nice, I think. So this is the person. معناها العلاقات هذه كلهم من منظور البنت هذه, okay? So these are her parents. Of course, they will be called mother and father, her parents, right? And her grandparents, my grandfather and my grandmother. Here she has her uncle and her aunt. And these are her cousins, the children of her uncle or aunt. Can you see her brother? This is her brother. So the wife of her brother is sister-in-law, right? And the son of her brother, is nephew. The daughter of her brother is niece. Okay. اوكي خلينا نشوف لو في حاجة تانية. Okay, stepfather, we talked about it, your mother's husband, but he isn't your father. Your mother married again, twin brother, relative, parents, great-grandfather is your grandmother or grandfather's father. تمام. Okay, here are some good examples. So we use X for wife, ex-wife, stepmother, granddaughter, great uncle, mother-in-law. مش عاطينا كل الأمثلة لكن. Okay, it says we always use hyphens. هي الشارحة, the hyphens. We always use them with X, with great, and in-law, but we don't use hyphens with step or grand. يعني ملاحظة كتابية هذه فقط تعتبر. Okay, ما في شيء معلومات تانية. All right, so that's all. So this means we can go back. What page is it? Yeah, it doesn't. Oops. 50 page. All right. Now, I think we've got some listening. We're going to listen to an interesting story about a wedding. But let me show you the question. It says here, make a list of all the roles you play in life. This is a nice question. So here you should make a list. What are you, or what are the roles you play in life? So who would like to try this? Let's try, let's see. So hey, tell us about the roles you play in life. So you can say, what are you? Give us an example. Are you married?
No.
Okay.
I'm a brother.
You're a brother. And just a brother?
A son.
You're also a son, correct?
A cousin.
You're a cousin. That's all? But what are you? What's your role, or what would your aunt and uncle call you? You're what to them? What are you? انت بتكون بالنسبه لخالاتك ولاعمامك ولاخوالك ولد خوهم وولد اختهم, right?
What the word?
Here, the word is in the box. Can you see the word? هي موجودة مع المجموعة هذه.
Yes.
What is it? Can you see this word?
Yes.
So you're also a nephew, because if you have aunts and uncles, this means you're a nephew, right? Of course, if you don't have aunts and uncles, then you're not a nephew. You're a son. Okay, so for Suhaib, he's a son, a brother, and a nephew. Is your grandfather or grandmother alive? Are they still alive?
No.
No. But where did you meet them? Before they died, did you meet them?
Yes.
So this means you were a grandson too, right?
Grandson, yes.
Maybe now because they passed away, you're not a grandson, but for when they were alive, you were a grandson. Okay, so let's see someone else. Sophia, tell us about the roles you play in life. And by the way, you can also talk about work. Employer, employee, colleague, you know, other things. If you work, you can also mention work relationships too, not only family relationships.
Okay.
Mhm,
I'm daughter,
mhm.
aunt,
Aunt. Mhm,
mother,
uh-huh.
cousin مش cousin
Cousin. صح.
cousin للميل والفيميل نفسها.
نفسها. Yes, it's the same.
Okay. I'm close friend,
Mhm,
and colleague, employer.
mhm. But you're also, if you're a mother, then this means you're married. Does your husband have brothers or sisters?
Yes.
So this means you're also a
Okay. هي daughter-in-law.
هذه this is your relationship بالنسبة لأهل زوجك بتكوني daughter-in-law صح؟ Correct؟
Yes.
وبالنسبة أخوات سواء اللي هم الفيميل أو الميل من جهة زوجك بتكوني بالنسبة لهم
sister-in-law.
Exactly, that's it, correct.
Yes.
Very good, very nice, okay. This is a good example. Let's see someone else. Selma, tell us about the roles you play.
Okay. I'm sister.
Mhm,
I'm cousin.
okay.
I'm nephew.
Nephew is for boys. مقابل له اللي هي niece.
Niece. Yeah.
niece اللي هي
آه.
بنت الأخ أو بنت الأخت. niece. يعني علاقتك بالنسبة لخالاتك بتكوني niece أنت بالنسبة لهم.
Okay. I'm close friend.
Mhm. You're okay, but you're also a daughter to your mother and father,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
What about your grandparents? What's your relationship to your grandparents? Your what? Your granddaughter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this means your grandmother or your grandfather will call you my granddaughter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Good. Okay. Let's see one last example. Manal, what about you? Tell us about the roles you play in life.
I am a daughter,
Mhm.
sister,
Right.
aunt.
Uh-huh.
I am twin sister.
Uh-huh. Interesting. You can also
I'm
talk about
sister-in-law.
sister-in-law. Mhm.
Close friend,
Okay.
cousin,
Uh-huh.
neighbor.
And also a neighbor. Okay, that's
I
good.
am niece.
You're also a niece. Are
Yes.
your uncles still alive? Any of your uncles or any of your aunts?
Yes.
Ah, nice. So this means you're a
Yes.
niece. You're
All
also
of them.
What's
that's
meaning of niece?
niece is the daughter of your brother or the daughter of your sister.
That's
This is niece.
so
But
nephew.
nephew is the son of your sister or the
yes.
son of your brother. This is nephew, niece and nephew. Okay, that's good. Manal, do you want to add anything else?
No.
Okay, great. So I think it's clear now. Everyone understands the idea here with family roles. Okay, so now let's. This question is fun, I think. It's asking which of the roles do you like and which don't you like. So let's see, for example, Manal, Safiya, what are the roles you like in your life? The parts that you enjoy, and which are the parts that you don't enjoy very much?
Yes, every rules I like.
You like all of them?
Huh?
Except, okay.
Except neighbor.
You don't like your neighbors very much. Nobody likes their neighbors in Libya. Nobody has got good neighbors. Okay, that's good. So the rest, you like them. You like all your roles. Nice. What about you, Manan? Do you like all the roles, or not all of them? Manal, can you hear us? Okay, Manal can't hear us. Suhaib, what about you? Are there any roles you don't like? Or do you you like all of them?
Yes.
You like being the son and the brother, the cousin, the nephew? Okay. All right, all right. Salma, what about you?
I don't like to be a younger sister.
You don't like being a younger sister? Why not?
Yes.
Because your older sister is in control? You don't like that?
Very difficult.
It's a difficult situation.
All family close when you.
So when you're the youngest one, you don't have any control?
Yes.
Okay. All right. What about you, Samiha? Is there any roles? Are there any roles you don't like to play?
Yes, I don't like a colleague and employee.
You don't like being a colleague and you don't like being an employee.
Yes.
You want to be an employer, right? You want to have your own business.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. I feel the same too.
Yes, صح نسيت.
Yeah, so being an employee is, it's a bit hard because your employer always wants this, he doesn't want that, you have to be here, you have to do this, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, come early.
Come early, leave late, finish your report, you can't talk, you can't. Okay, so I agree, I think that's right. But what about the family roles? Do you like all of them, Samiha?
Yes, I like.
Yeah, okay. All right, so this is the idea here. Now let's move to the listening part and let's find out about these people in the picture. So let's find out about all of these people and let's check the story. So first of all, we just want to describe some of these people. It says work in pairs, take turns to describe a person in the picture. Don't say his name, don't say her name. Okay. Okay, so let's do this a little bit. And also, if you can, okay, I think you have to use the colors, but my question was maybe we shouldn't use colors to make it harder. But I think it's okay if we use colors. Okay, let's start with Hana here. Hana, I'd like you to describe someone in the picture, okay? Choose anybody you want. Anybody you want, you can talk about them, but you cannot say their name, okay? And you cannot say, yeah, and you cannot say, for example, she is between Jake and Naomi. Do you get the idea? يعني ما نقدروش نوصفه باستعمال الأسماء نهائيا. You have to describe how they look. Clothes. Hair, happy, not happy, sad, young, old, about 25, about 50, beautiful, handsome, these kind of descriptions. Do you get the idea? Hanan?
ما نقولش الأسامي يعني.
No, you cannot say the name. أنت بتختاري واحد منهم فقط وبتصفيه وبتصفيه لراشد، وراشد بيحاول يزبط أما شخص تتكلمي عليه. You can say she or he and you can say what they're wearing, but ممنوع استعمال الأسامي نهائيا. You can't use names. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
She is unhappy.
She is unhappy.
She
Happy or unhappy?
unhappy.
Unhappy, okay.
She is wearing a dress.
Okay. She's wearing a dress.
Long hair.
She has long hair.
She has a long hair.
Okay.
She has she tall.
She's
and
tall
pretty.
and pretty. Okay. Does she have a bag? Does she have a bag?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
We have a bag.
Okay. Who is the woman that she's talking about, Rashid? Who is Hannah talking about?
I think Harriet.
Harriet?
No.
Yeah.
Okay, let's ask Hannah. Is she old or young?
Young. She is young.
She's young, Rashid.
She doesn't have a bag.
Naomi, yes. But she doesn't have a bag. ولا حطتها وراها الباج.
Yes, has a bag.
Behind her? Is the bag behind her? I can't see the bag. I don't know how.
Also happy, looks like happy because her teeth.
No,
She's unhappy.
She's mine.
She's, maybe she's unhappy because maybe she's jealous. Maybe because Jake was her boyfriend and Diana is marrying him now.
But smiling, looks like happy. في happy أكتر من happy.
Yes, she's smiling. But maybe jealous. I think that's why Hannah said unhappy. ممكن.
Yeah.
But okay. So but I like the description. She described her well, I think. Maybe if you said she was young or she's young, maybe Rashid could answer easily. But this is a good example of a nice description. Let's try someone else. Okay. Where's okay, Rashid, you can choose someone to describe. Do the same thing. Talk about everything except the name, okay? And maybe Samiha will guess and tell us who you're talking about.
Okay. He have short hair, black short hair. He have a nice suit. He's tall.
Okay.
He looks like a president.
He looks like the president. But which president? Our president or the American president?
American president.
Which one? The new one or the old one?
The old one.
The old one?
Yeah.
Does he look like Barack Obama? Or like Donald Trump?
No, the before Trump.
Obama?
That before
Yeah.
Trump, mana Bush.
No, Bush is before Obama.
Okay.
Okay, what else? Tell us a little more. Is he old or is he young? How old is he?
He's middle-aged.
Middle-aged. Is he happy? Does he look happy or is he upset? Is he sad? What does he look like?
happy.
He's happy. What do you think? Who's he talking about, Samiha? What do you think?
I think Robert.
Rupert? Is that right,
But
Rashid?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
But I think he's not happy.
He's not happy.
Maybe he's aggressive personality.
Maybe he's an angry. Maybe his mother is Libyan. So he's aggressive.
Maybe he's hungry.
Maybe he's hungry. Yeah, that's a better reason. I think he's thinking of the cake, and,
Yes.
and maybe he's upset that he won't have a lot of it. So maybe he likes cake.
Yes.
Okay, so this is a good description. Let's try someone else. Okay. So Manal, okay, describe someone for us. Okay. And talk about everything, you know, clothes, hair, happy, unhappy, young, tall, short, anything you want except the name. And so I will guess, we'll try to guess who you're talking about. Okay.
He's wearing and a tie,
Okay.
nice tie.
A suit and tie.
His hair is brown. He look like bored,
He looks
or
bored.
he doesn't like reading.
Did you say he looks bored?
Yes.
Okay.
He
So
doesn't like the wedding.
So he's not having fun. You think he's not enjoying the wedding?
And he's tall.
He's tall. Is he young or old? What do you think?
Young.
He looks young.
In 13s, in teens.
In his teens?
30s.
In his 30s. In his 30s. Okay.
30s, yes.
All right. Sohaib, what do you think? Who is she talking about? Who's Manal talking about?
I think Charlie.
Is that right? Were you talking about Charlie?
Yes, right.
All right. Nice. Very good. Okay. Okay, let's try one last person to guess. Okay, Selma. Try to describe one of the people here and talk about everything, okay? And
Okay.
except the name. And Safia will try to guess who you're talking about.
Okay. He's wear a suit with a bow tie, and he's look happy,
He looks happy.
and
optimistic.
Maybe, yeah.
and
Is he thin or is he fat? What do you
I think
Or fat? Do you think he's
Maybe.
fat?
yeah.
Okay. What about his hair? Tell us about his hair.
بعدين حيضة.
Because I think you have to help us with the hair a little bit. Is it long? Is it short? Is it brown? Is it black?
Okay. He have a short hair.
Okay.
He have short hair, and he old.
He's old.
Yeah. And that's it.
But does he have a lot of hair or not a lot of hair? What do you think?
Don't have a lot of hair.
Okay. So Sophia, who's she talking about?
Young or old?
Young or old, Selma?
I say old.
Old. She said old. He's old.
Yeah.
Patrick.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's correct. That's right. She was talking about Patrick. Yeah, I think Patrick maybe wants to get married too, because you know his wife died, and maybe
العكاز شنو بالإنجليزي؟
you can say walking stick. You can say cane. What is the sound of cane? He has a cane. And you can say walking stick. مرات يقول walking stick. لكن cane أحسن أعتقد. Cane. So he has a cane, a wooden cane. Okay, all right. So this is these are the people who are at the wedding. Now let's do the listening part here. So it says here, excuse me, guess the names of these people. Okay, so this is just a guessing question. This is a guessing question. So it looks like the wedding, Jake is the, excuse me, Jake is the groom, right? And Diana is the bride. So now we want to guess the other people. What's their relationship to Jake and Diana? So the first one, it says Jake's twin brother is Dom. Can you see Dom? Where's Dom? Okay, so we can't see his face, but Dom is Jake's twin brother. Okay, so Dom is his brother. Now let's see the next person. Jake's great uncle. Who's Jake's great uncle?
Patrick.
Patrick.
Yeah, I think Patrick, because he's the only old person, right? There are no other old people. So maybe Patrick is his great uncle. Okay.
Yes.
What about Jake's best friend? Who do you think is Jake's best friend?
No, Eric.
Robert.
Robert.
Eric, Rupert, Charlie?
I think Robert.
Robert.
Rupert? Okay, those who think it's Rupert. Why do you think it's Rupert? Why not Charlie or Eric?
Because maybe he look at Robert and he's happy.
Maybe. Yeah, because maybe he's looking at Rupert now.
Stop inside Jack.
Sorry, Hannah?
Stand next to Jack.
Yes, he's also standing very close besides him or next to Jake. You're right. So he's also standing close. Maybe he's his best friend. It's a good guess, Rupert. I don't know, but we'll see. Oops, I think we missed it. Here. All right, so what about Jake's aunt? Where's his aunt? Who's his aunt? Harriet?
Harriet, yes.
Harriet? Maybe Naomi is his aunt.
No.
No?
No.
Okay. You think she's too young to be his aunt?
Yes.
Maybe she's his baby aunt. Maybe his grandfather.
Maybe
His grandfather married another.
Naomi, she's Robert's sister or husband.
Maybe.
Daughter.
Rupert's daughter? Rupert doesn't look very old. Okay. So yeah, so it says, so I agree with you. I think Harriet is the aunt. I think her age, she looks a little old. Not too old, but maybe she's his aunt, yeah.
Yes.
All right, then we have Eric's wife. Where's Eric's wife?
Naomi.
Naomi?
Yes.
Maybe, but do you think they have a good relationship or not a very good relationship?
Not very good relationship.
Why not, in your opinion?
Because I think he's not enjoying the others in the wedding.
You mean because Eric is not, he's not with the other people? He's not enjoying the wedding party?
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe Naomi girlfriend Jack.
Maybe Naomi's Jake's ex-girlfriend, right?
Yes.
And that's why maybe Eric is upset.
Yes.
Maybe.
Yeah, and that's why he's telling Harriet, he's telling her, I'm really tired of Naomi. She's very boring. And he's complaining to Jake's aunt about his wife. Maybe, yes. Maybe he's telling Harriet, why don't you take Naomi? I don't want her anymore. She can live with you. So, okay. And then we have Jake's colleague. Who do you think is Jake's colleague? Do you think it's Charlie, or do you think maybe it's Eric?
Eric.
And Eric, Charlie.
Charlie.
Maybe Charlie.
Yes, maybe.
Okay. All right, so let's listen and find out, okay? So it says here, listen to Dom and Charlie talk about the wedding. So we're gonna hear about all of these people, and we're gonna hear the conversation from these two, okay? So from Dom and Charlie, they're gonna talk together and tell us about all the guests, all the people in this picture. So, and remember that Dom is Jake's twin brother, right? So Dom is the twin brother. Okay, so let's go to the listening. CD2, track 20. Okay, CD2, track 20. Okay, let's listen.
Track 20.
She's the happiest person I know.
Oops, sorry. 19, not 20.
He's the most...
19.
Hello, Dom.
Oh, hi, Charlie. Are you enjoying yourself?
Yes, thanks. But I don't know anyone here apart from you, Jake, and Diana.
Well, who do you want to know about?
Who's the woman in the red dress?
Ah, that's Naomi. She's Diana's best friend from university.
She's gorgeous.
Yes, she is. And she's the happiest person I know.
Really?
And she's married.
Oh.
That's her husband next to her. The one in the blue suit. His name's Eric. He's a colleague of Jake's.
What's he like?
Actually, he's the most boring person I've ever met in my life. All he talks about is work.
And he's got the worst haircut ever.
Yes, you're right. I don't know why she married him.
Who's he talking to?
Oh, that's Aunt Harriet. She's our richest relative. It's quite sad, really. She never got married because she thought men only wanted her for her money. No one knows how much she has, but she's got the biggest house you've ever seen, and she lives there on her own. She's a bit strange.
Yes, she looks it.
And the guy talking to my brother is Rupert. He's Jake's best friend. Do you know a place called the Bug Bar in Market Street?
Yes, I've been there once or twice.
Well, he owns it. Apparently, it's the most popular bar in town at the moment. You have to queue to get in.
Look, someone's waving at you.
Oh, no. He's my least favourite relative. Hello, Uncle Patrick. How are you? That's my great-uncle Patrick. He's 90 next birthday.
Wow. He doesn't look that old.
Yes, well, he's married to a much younger woman. She's only 76. Anyway, come with me, and I'll introduce you to Naomi's sister. I don't think she's married.
Oh.
All right. I think our guesses were correct, right? Except for, I think, Charlie and Eric.
Robot.
Yeah, so Jake's great uncle, we said Patrick, and that's correct. Jake's best friend, we said Rupert. That's correct. Harriet is Jake's aunt, and we said Eric's wife is Naomi. And this is the only one I think we had wrong. We said Charlie is Jake's colleague.
Yes.
But actually Eric is Jake's. Yeah.
Eric.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we had some very good guesses. That's great. Now, I want to see if you can remember the conversation now. We want to complete some of the parts here from this conversation. So here, this is Charlie talking. She's the happiest person Dom knows. Her what? Eric.
Husband.
Husband? Do you think it's husband?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
let's write it. And then we can check. All right. Is the most boring man Dom's ever what? What do you think? Met, maybe?
Nose.
Seen.
Nose.
Seen.
No.
Knows.
Yes.
But here we have to use ever seen. We need something in the past participle. Is the most, because here we have
Seen, I think.
has ever. We have to use past participle here. What do you think? Seen?
Seen or met.
Met or seen? Okay, let's write both of them and then we can check. All right, and Charlie thinks he's got the worst what?
Good hair.
Can you say it in opposites?
Haircut.
Yes, that's it. Dom's richest relative is his
Aunt.
his Aunt Harriet.
Aunt.
She's also got the biggest
House.
house, maybe.
Yes.
All right. The owner of the most popular something in town is Rupert. The owner of... Sorry?
Strange.
Strange. But here we need a noun. We can't use an adjective. The most popular something, place. Any guesses for number 7? No. Okay. Patrick is Dom's least favorite
Relative.
relative?
Relative.
Least favorite relative? Okay, he's...
Number 7, maybe job.
Job. The owner of the most popular job in town?
Maybe company.
Company. We need something like company. Company or place or shop or cafe, you know, something like this. Oh, don't worry, we'll listen again to complete it. Okay, now back to Patrick. So Patrick is Dom's least favorite relative. He's something next birthday.
90.
Married.
90.
90.
19.
And his something is only 76.
Or her husband. His wife.
Wife.
And his wife, maybe? Okay. All right, let's check your answers. Let's listen again and let's see if we need to correct anything.
Track 19.
Hello, Dom.
Oh, hi, Charlie. Are you enjoying yourself?
Yes, thanks. But I don't know anyone here apart from you, Jake, and Diana.
Well, who do you want to know about?
Who's the woman in the red dress?
Ah, that's Naomi. She's Diana's best friend from university.
She's gorgeous.
Yes, she is. And she's the happiest person I know.
Really?
And she's married.
Oh.
That's her husband next to her, the one in the blue suit. His name's Eric. He's a colleague of Jake's.
What's he like?
Actually, he's the most boring person I've ever met in my life. All he talks about is work, work, work.
And he's got the worst haircut ever.
Yes, you're right. I don't know why she married him.
Who's he talking to?
Oh, that's Aunt Harriet. She's our richest relative. It's quite sad, really. She never got married because she thought men only wanted her for her money. No one knows how much she has, but she's got the biggest house you've ever seen, and she lives there on her own. She's a bit strange.
Yes, she looks it.
And the guy talking to my brother is Rupert. He's Jake's best friend. Do you know a place called the Bug Bar in Market Street?
Yes, I've been there once or twice.
Well, he owns it. Apparently, it's the most popular bar in town at the moment. You have to queue to get in.
Look, someone's waving at you.
Oh, no. He's my least favourite relative. Hello, Uncle Patrick. How are you? That's my great-uncle Patrick. He's 90 next birthday.
Wow. He doesn't look that old.
Yes, well, he's married to a much younger woman. She's only 76. Anyway, come with me, and I'll introduce you to Naomi's sister. I don't think she's married.
Oh.
Okay. So Rupert is the owner of the most popular what?
Bar.
Bar. Yeah, the most
Bar.
popular bar in town. Correct. All right. So this means, what about the other answers? Are they correct?
Yes.
Number 3,
He is 70.
Met. Number 3. Met.
Met. Correct. Met is correct. Not seen. Yes, Selma, what did you say?
No, I said 3 met.
That's correct. Yeah, Met is the right answer. Okay, so we have superlatives. Let's talk a little bit about superlatives. Most of it is also from elementary. Most of it is repeated. But I think there are a few new things that... no, this one is not... Okay, so most of it is not new. So this is a very nice revision of superlatives from the elementary. All right, so it says here, look at 4B again. How do we make superlatives of these adjectives? So if we have a one-syllable adjective, like rich, how do we make a superlative?
Richest.
Richest, can you see it? Right?
Yeah.
What about if we have a word like big that starts with consonant biggest?
Biggest.
Right, and we use a double B, double G, we double the last letter. What about two-syllable adjectives that end in Y, like happy?
Most happy.
The most.
Are you sure?
Happiest.
Happiest.
Yeah, can you see it? Happiest. So we remove the Y and we put I-E-S-T, happiest. Happiest, windiest, sunniest, friendliest. Okay, so this means all the first three groups, all of them are, you know, kind of the same, right? Not really different. All of them are the same idea. But with the next group, it's a bit different. With the next group, we have to put, what do we have to put here for longer adjectives? Like, for example, boring.
More. Most.
The most boring. And if you look here, oops, sorry. Good and bad بروحهم موضوعهم مختلف. Okay, so we just want to focus on 4 and 5. So the most boring. Can you see it? The most boring here.
Yes.
What about longer adjectives like popular?
Most popular.
Correct. You can see it here, the most popular. But what about good and bad? What do we do for good and bad? What's the superlative?
better.
مش most popular
Best and
public.
worst.
Best and worst.
Popular.
Okay. What did you say again for good and bad?
Best and worst.
Best and worst.
That's correct. So best, where's best? Do we have best here? I can see worst. I did worst. Like in best when, huh? I don't think we have best here.
Best,
Best friend?
Diana, best. Yes.
Yes.
Number one.
In the beginning. Yeah, Diana's best friend is Naomi. Who said public, popular public? Who asked, was it you, Sophia? Asked about?
Yes. Most popular.
Yes. What about most popular?
Same public, ولا?
No, not exactly. Something popular, it's famous or well known, but public is the opposite of private. Public, like a public job, a public office, a public bathroom. Not exactly the same.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so now we know how to use superlatives. So very, very quickly, if you have a one-syllable adjective, we usually use est. If you have a two-syllable adjective ending in y, it's the same thing. We just remove the y and we put ist. So happy, happiest, friendly, friendliest, and so on. But if you have a long adjective, 2 syllables or more, or 3 syllables, we have to use most. Most intelligent, most boring, most popular, most exciting, and so on. For good and bad, we just use worst and best. All right, so there's another tip here. Can you see this tip? It says that you can, if you want, you can also use the least instead of the most. So you can say, he's my least favorite relative, or for example, that movie is the least interesting movie I've seen. يعني بدل ما تقولوا the most boring تقولوا the least interesting. يعني بالعكس فقط هي دي الفكرة. Do you get the idea? My least favorite, it means the most hated مثلا. So this is the idea. Okay, part B here. There's a word missing. What's missing? What's missing from this word, from this sentence? The. We have to use the with superlatives, right? So we should say the happiest person I know. This is the correct word. So let's write the. Okay, now it's correct. So, okay, this is a nice question. Can you see these two sentences here? So the question says, why can't we use the for these superlatives? Why? What's the reason? Can you read them? He's Jake's best friend.
Name. First one, the name.
But here we don't have the name. She's our richest relative. What about she's our richest relative? We don't have a name here. But why can't we use the?
Possessive S.
We have a possessive S, right?
Yeah.
So the real answer is not the name, it's the possessive s or the possessive adjective, our. Do you get the idea?
Yes.
Because here, even if we change our with my, she's my richest relative, she's his richest relative, her richest relative, our, even if you change them with other possessive adjectives, you still cannot use that. It's the same problem, right? So this means maybe it's because of possessive adjectives. If you have a possessive adjective, this means you cannot use the. And the same thing here, possessive adjective or the possessive s. Jake's, he's Jake's best friend. He's mom's. She's mom's best friend. She's Diana's co-worker. He's Harriet's best friend. وهكذا. So any possessive s, we cannot use the. All right, so I think we just need to take a look at the summary and see if we have any tips. And after that, I think we can do the exercise. So let's take a look. Let's go and check the tips and see if there's anything we should talk about there. Okay, so here we have the superlatives. Okay, can you see the superlatives on the right side of the page? Can you see them?
Yes.
All right, so these are the superlatives. So, okay, nothing new here. The table is clear. I think we don't need to talk about it. I think the only new thing is this. هذه ممكن ما كانتش موجودة في elementary. That you can use least بنفس الكيفية اللي نستعمل بها most. So you can say he's my least favorite relative. It's the least interesting movie. It's the least no, I'm just thinking of adjectives. Beautiful, I don't know, laptop, whatever. So you can use least like most. This is the point. Okay, so now أعطانا السبب. So this means if you have possessive s, say he's Jake's best friend, or a possessive adjective like our, then we don't use the. Do you get the idea? There's no the. Before superlatives and sensitive we use the. لكن بالنسبة لو عندك possessive s, possessive adjectives, خلاص, we don't use the. So this means you cannot say she's our richest relative. Well, she's the richest. You can't do that. You get the idea? So you can only use the if you don't have possessive s or possessive adjective. If you don't, then you can use the. You can say she's the happiest person I know without any problem. All right? So this means we can go back to the exercise. Let's take a look. Okay. So let's check the listening first, and then we can write the comparative and the superlative. So let's check the listening.
She's the happiest person I know.
He's the most boring person I've ever met.
He's got the worst haircut ever.
She's got the biggest house you've ever seen.
He's Jake's best friend.
It's the most popular bar in town.
He's my least favourite relative.
Okay. So this is just the pronunciation, nothing new. Okay, now in number 7, what we want to do is we want to write both the comparative and the superlative. So for intelligent, what's the comparative here?
More.
More
Intelligent.
intelligent. And the superlative?
Most intelligent.
Yes, the most intelligent, correct. What about busy?
Busier.
More busy.
Busiest.
Busiest.
Busier, and
Most.
Busiest.
okay. Now with busy, it's like happy. We have busy and we have lazy. And we have friendly, happy, windy, noisy. All of them, because according to the rule, can you see the rule here?
IEST.
Yes. The rule says, let me just quickly put it in a box. So the rule says, if you have a 2-syllable adjective that ends with Y, like happy, what we do is we remove the Y and we put IEST. Like here in the story, in the conversation, happiest, busiest, laziest, windiest, friendliest. So we don't use more or most with adjectives that end with Y. All right, so this means busier and busiest, right? What about fat?
Fatter.
Correct.
Fatty.
Most fat.
But why do we use most, Rashid?
Fatty.
Fatter and fast.
We only use more and most. We only use them if we have a long adjective. حسب القاعدة. This means only if you have a long adjective with more than two or more. In this situation we use most. بس لو الادجكتيف قصير زي في مثلا rich, richer, richest, big, bigger, biggest, short, shorter, shortest, tall, taller, tallest, long, longer, longest, وهكذا. So if it's a short adjective مقطع صوتي واحد, 1 syllable, we don't use more or most. We just put ER وبعدها EST. So let's write them. ممكن أفضل. Let's put them in the list. So this way we have all of them in front of us. All right, so let's write them. So we agreed that more intelligent, and we have most intelligent. And we said busier and busiest. Busiest. And we have fatter and fattest. What about popular? How do we change? More popular and most popular. What about good?
Better and best.
Better and best.
Correct, better and best. What about helpful?
More and best.
Most
Correct.
helpful.
More helpful, most helpful. What about bad?
Worst.
Worse and? Worst. Selfish?
More and
most.
More selfish, most selfish. What about tall?
Taller.
Correct. So we use taller and taller and tallest. Okay. Thin?
thinnest.
thinner, thinnest.
Thinnest.
That's correct. What about lazy?
Lazier. Laziest.
Lazier and laziest.
Lazier.
Far?
Far. Farer. Far. Farer. Farer.
Far is actually, it's irregular, like good and bad. It's not, it's irregular. Irregular. Who can remember it? The person who remembers it will get a chocolate emoji on Facebook.
Farther.
Hannah, can you say it again?
Farther.
Correct. That's actually correct. Farther and farthest. صح. Hannah gets a chocolate emoji. Okay. And
divide with me.
yes. Okay. Yeah. Divide it with you. That's right. Yes. أيضا مرات يستعمل فيها ممكن يخي الصيغة الثانية شائعة أكثر. Further يستعمل فيها ممكن أكثر شوية. لكن farther صح. و furthest. Okay. So this is how you can use superlatives, comparatives. So superlatives and comparatives, they're not very hard. I think they're kind of easy. They're not too hard, but they're very important. And at this level, I think in pre-intermediate, especially pre-intermediate B and later in intermediate, I think you shouldn't make any mistakes with comparative superlatives. In elementary, it's okay to make mistakes, but now I think you shouldn't make any mistakes. So they just need to get, I think you just need to get used to that. It's like the same thing with, remember when you first studied the past simple and you weren't sure, is this regular, play, played, or is it irregular, eat, ate, have, had, you know, but with a little bit of practice, you get used to them and you remember all of them, and then you don't make any mistakes anymore. So it's the same thing. You just need to get used to them. All right, now let's use all of this and all of these ideas. Let's use them to complete the exercise in number 8. But remember, in number 8, في ملاحظة ضايفينها لنا. Can you see this? It says use the if necessary. What does it mean? Use the if necessary. Does it mean we have to use it all the time or not all the time?
No.
It's necessary.
Okay, but yes, if necessary, yes. But can you give me an example where it's not necessary to use the, like what? Remember in the rules, in the summary, we talked about a situation where we don't use the. Can you remember it?
Possessive one. Possessive so
exactly. So if there's a possessive S, if there's a name and a possessive S, or if there's a possessive adjective, this means you cannot use the. Do you get the idea?
Yes.
All right, so take a minute, take a few minutes, read all of them from number 1 to number 8, and when you're ready, just say we're ready and we can check them together. But take a minute first.
Finish.
Okay, good.
finished.
All
I
right.
finished.
Great.
I finished.
Nice. Okay, so let's check your answers. So, okay, Samiha, you can do number 1.
Diana is one of youngest company directors in the UK.
Okay, now,
Of the young.
so do you want to use the or without the?
The.
Okay, all right. Yes. All right, what about number 2? Manal, can you do number 2?
Her parents are the happiest married couple I know.
Okay, so the happiest number, excuse me, let's see. Hannah, can you do number 3?
Diana is organized person.
Organized.
I have ever met.
Okay, but I think you forgot something. حاليا بنقولوا ان هي اكثر واحدة منظمة.
Most youngest.
Okay.
Most,
organized.
Diana has most organized.
Okay, good. Do we use the or without the?
Without the.
Why?
Because possessive S.
Okay, is this possessive S or is it has or is it verb to be is?
I have.
This is
Diana.
has. Diana has or Diana is or Diana's. نوع الاس اما نوع هذه which S هنا
verb.
yes
Diana,
verb to be is هذه is
okay that
correct. Can you do it together, all of it together?
Diana has the most organized person I have ever met.
Okay, so Diana's the most organized. The most organized. The most organized. Good, good, good. Salma, what about number 4?
She is also my boss's best friend. Yeah.
Okay, do we use the or without the?
My boss's the best friend. With the.
With the?
No.
Are you sure?
With about the.
Without the?
Yeah.
Or with the? What do you think?
ده لأن ماي not possessive.
But here, when we say buses, this S, what kind of S is it? And we also have my. So should we use the or without that? What do you think, Samiha? Should we use the?
No, without.
Without the?
Yes, possessive S.
Because we have possessive S, my boss's best friend. Do you get the idea? So S here, it's not is, it's a possessive S. So she's the friend, she's the best friend of my boss. Do you get the idea? My boss's best friend. So know that here. Okay, Sophia, what about number 5?
Jack is the most helpful person in the world.
Okay, the most helpful. Okay, Rashid, what about number 6?
He's also the worst driver.
Okay, do you want to use the or without the?
Without the.
Correct, because we have possessive S, worlds. That's correct. Okay, so what about number 7? What do you
This
think
is the most important day of his life.
Oh, okay. The most important. That's correct. Okay, let's go back to Manal. What do you think number 8 here? He's wearing?
And he is doing my most expensive shirt.
Right, most.
Without that.
Without that, because we have my most expensive shirt. My most expensive shirt. All right. So this is a little exercise that shows us how to use the superlative. Maybe the only new thing we need to pay attention to is when to use the, when not to use the. So you can't use it all the time. This is the idea. Okay, so let me show you what we'll talk about in our next lesson. Maybe if we have something short, we can do it. Let me show you here. Okay, family tree, draw your family trees. I think we can skip this one. All right, now this is nice. Here in this lesson, it's actually quite interesting because we'll listen to a soap opera. Okay, but before I explain what it is, so the lesson is called Family Business. What do you think it's about when we say family business? What do we mean when we say family business?
Work. Maybe when a family works together.
Yes, yeah, that's usually the idea. If a family works together, or if they have the same, not the same job, but they're working in the same company, maybe their own company. But I think if they're working together, can they have the same jobs or not exactly the same jobs?
No, different jobs.
Yeah,
No.
Maybe the same. But how can they run a business if all of them have the same job? Because imagine you have a family, let's say you have a bakery, right? So you make bread. So can you have all of them who are bakers? One of them needs to be an accountant. Another one maybe needs to be maybe to deliver the flour, bring the flour. Maybe another one needs to get the money from the customers. One of them needs to be a cashier. Do you get the idea? So the business is for the family, but I think the jobs they do may be a bit different. Not everybody does the same thing. They have to divide the business together. So in this lesson, we'll talk a little bit about this. But before we do that, here, we're going to talk about soap operas. This word, I think you've seen it before, but maybe some of you don't know it. Who can explain what this word is in English? Soap operas. What's a soap opera? Who can explain it? Can anybody remember it from elementary? A soap opera? Is it a food? Is it a soap? Is it an opera? What is it?
Chefs, maybe.
Sorry?
Think like series or something like that.
Yes, it's a show or a series. It's a series. So what does series mean when we say series?
مسلسل.
Yes. A soap opera is a type of series, a kind of series. You get the idea? So it's a series, هو يعتبر مسلسل. But usually this series is long and social. Yes. It's about family life. It's about, love, hate, marriage, children, Do you know?
Like reality show.
Kind of, a little bit, maybe. What's the most popular soap opera now in Libya? Which one? What is it? I think a lot of Libyans watch Turkish soap operas, and Korean soap operas too are becoming popular.
باب الحارة.
Do you think Bab
The
al-Hara
worst soap operas.
Do you think Bab al-Hara is an example of a soap opera?
I think it's too long.
No, I don't think so, no. Bab al-Hara maybe is a historical series, ممكن دراما يمشي series عادي وخلاص. لكن soap opera like مش حافظ أنا اسميهم. Mexican series, you know, Cassandra and شو اسمها الثانية Marimar and those series. Yeah, do you remember those? Those are examples of soap operas. حتى المسلسلات التركية الحالية تعتبر
seasons and more than 100
yeah, they're very long. Exactly. These are soap operas. This is the idea. So
قيام ترطغرل.
Sorry, what is it?
قيام ترطغرل.
I don't know this one. Is it Syrian or Turkish?
Turkish.
Turkish. Okay. Historical. It's a if it's لو أنها تاريخية مرات مش soap. عادة السوب operas أكثر اللي هم معاصرات واجتماعيات في العادة حديث يعني دائما معاصر وبيكون اجتماعي تركيز اجتماعي أكثر حاجة أكثر من أي شيء ثاني. Okay. Anyways, so my question is, do you watch or listen to soap operas on TV, the internet, or the radio? Does anybody? Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Which ones? Let's see. Which ones do you watch? Manal, what about you? Which soap operas do you watch?
I don't remember.
You don't remember the names?
Yes. Turkish,
okay.
But all Turkish.
All of them are Turkish. Okay. And do you watch on the television or do you watch online or how do you usually watch?
Television and internet.
Okay, so both. Okay. Who else watches? I think Samiha said. Do you also watch soap operas, Samiha?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. What kind of soap operas do you watch?
Sometimes Turkish, sometimes Korean, sometimes Spanish.
So
related to the mood.
Depends on the mood, but you watch all of them.
Yes, all of them.
Okay. Selma, what about you, Selma? Do you like soap operas? Do you watch any soap operas? Selma disappeared. Okay, who else? Let's check the boys here. What about you, Rashid and Suhaib? Do you watch any soap operas?
No.
Historical? I think if it's historical, Rashid مش حتكون soap opera. حتكون مسلسل عادي, series. You can say a historical series. يعني مسلسل عادي. لأن soap opera في العادة مش. So you can say I like historical series, but it's different from soap operas. So Haib, you don't like soap operas?
I watch action series and comedian.
So you like comedy and action. You don't like soap operas. You don't like social drama.
No.
Okay. Anyways, this is the topic of the lesson, and we're gonna listen because this is actually a soap opera, but it's not on television. It's on the radio. Because in the UK, they also have some soap operas on the radio. So it's not on television. So this show is an example of a soap opera on the radio. These are the characters. We have Clive, we have Lydia, Darren, Trudy, Kathy, and Eve King. So it's a nice story. We'll talk about this. It's about a family business, a restaurant. So this is our topic for next time. So that's all for tonight. Yes, Samiha, do you have a question?
No, I said I think it will be an interesting class.
Yeah, it's actually fun because I remember at the end of the story, it's a nice ending. I don't want to tell you what happened, but it was fun. I remember it was I think it was well acted. The actors they have in this book, some of them are quite good actually. So it's kind of fun. Anyway, so my advice is if you haven't started with the workbook, please start with your workbook, and maybe you can work a little bit on superlatives, so you can remember when to use the, when not to use the, when to use most, when not to use most, you know, to review this, and hopefully it'll be okay. All right, so thank you very much. Thanks for your time. I'll see you next time, and good night, everyone.
Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.